Okay, the final breakfast. This is day 13. I will not have breakfast tomorrow. I'm leaving too early. Apple juice, little croissants. And this looks promising. Chorizo frittata. Chorizo and spinach frittata with a grilled tomato. This looks quite nice indeed. Right, let's get into it. The slightly annoying thing is while they've sent croissants, nice little croissants, they haven't sent anything to put with them, like butter or even some jam, so it's just kind of a croissant. I mean, yeah, if you're just eating a croissant made in a French patisserie or whatever they call it, a bakery, you don't need anything else. If you're just having a pre-frozen croissant like this, you're going to need some butter or jam because it's not going to taste very nice otherwise, if you know what I mean. So it's kind of pointless. Obviously, the best croissants in the world, you don't need anything. They're just perfect as they are. But the factory-made croissants, you're going to need something to make them taste nice. Right, let's get into it. I'm super excited. I slept really well last night. Slept in, actually, I didn't even wake up until like 5:30, which is fantastic. So I feel quite rested. I did so much work the last 2 days in terms of video production and kind of stuff like that. I don't need to do much today. I will probably play some games and stuff like that and get some stuff ready. And I kind of have to plan out for next week, but I'm kind of ahead of the game, which is good. This looks interesting. Layered it, baked it in a sheet pan, and then cut it. Interesting. But yeah, they've definitely baked it. What is up with people who are not putting salt? Salt is good. Salt is awesome. We need salt. We need salt. We need fat. What's the point of not having salt and fat? These are the things that make food taste nice. That's why we like food. Food is the reason we have society. Without food, without the need for food, we wouldn't have to have cities and all this kind of stuff. We wouldn't do it. We wouldn't be next to each other. We'd hate each other. We need the food. That's why we're together. Food has to be good. Oh, that coffee is hot. Oh. Yeah, so excited. Very excited. This time tomorrow, I shall be waiting at the airport. Probably standing outside, breathing deeply, getting some fresh air in my lungs. Hopefully, not smoking tomorrow. So this is, now it's what, day 14 or 15? I haven't had a cigarette since I flew, since I was in Singapore basically. So it's been 2 weeks. By all accounts, the nicotine should be out of my system. That my lungs should be improving themselves. I could say honestly that I do want one. I kind of think about it, and I think about it more now than I did at the start. And I think that's a psychological thing, is because it's impossible for me to smoke now. Yeah. And I knew that at the start of this quarantine. I knew it was impossible for me to have a cigarette. So it was just like, okay, fine, it's impossible. Now, I know I can have one tomorrow if I want. Yeah, I know I can walk out of here, go to the airport, find a shop, buy some cigarettes, walk outside, have a cigarette. So now I'm starting to feel it. And that's annoying. It's not that there's nothing fundamentally driving me to want to quit, apart from, I guess, it costs a lot of money and it's bad for your health. But I do like it. I do like smoking. And it fits in the way I like to live my life. I.e., drinking and smoking and eating, and it's part of that. I like walking down the street and you've got a good half an hour, 1 hour walk to do because you're heading somewhere. And it's not too warm outside, it's a blue sky, maybe it's 18 degrees, a little breeze, you've got a nice jacket on, there's lots of stuff to look at, No music. I don't like walking with music in my head, but there's lots of stuff to look at. You're walking down a nice, cool street, so there's shops and little restaurants and cafes and stuff. Maybe a little street you've not walked down before, so you're exploring, as you're heading to your destination. And maybe it's about 11 o'clock in the morning. I like that sort of time. And you're probably heading somewhere where you're going to have some nice food, maybe a little drink, and then probably head back home later on and do something interesting. But that's when I like that cigarette. That's like walkie, walkie, walkie. Oh, hey, look at that. Ooh, blah, blah, blah. That's the sort of cigarette I like. So it's not that I, as I said, it's hard for me to quit because I don't know whether I want to, basically. I know as an adult, and I know a lot of you who know me might find that surprising to say, but as an adult I should quit. It is the responsible, it's the smart, it's the healthy, it's the right thing to do. I don't want to do that. I really don't want to. We'll see. We'll see. I will say one thing. I will be always honest with myself in that, if I smoke, I'm not going to pretend I'm not a smoker, If I smoke, you'll see me tomorrow bitching at myself. And at this stage, I'd say it's 60-70% likely that I will have a cigarette tomorrow. But that's okay. I'm not going to beat myself up for it. I mean, this 2 weeks is good. Even though it was forced on me, it's still a good result. I'm quite happy with myself. Didn't take any nicotine supplements. So I know I can do it. And I know in terms of kind of health and how the physical cravings feel, they were kind of easy. So it is just a mental thing. It's about putting myself in this kind of, I don't want to smoke anymore. And obviously heading back to Australia, the most expensive damn cigarettes in the world. I'm nowhere near going to be able to afford it. So the decision might be made for me within a week or so anyway, because I don't have any money. Anyway, I'm waffling on. I'll see you guys back for lunch and dinner later on. Cheers, bye. Oh, okay, hello. Welcome back to lunch. Final day. I think this was, I threw the menu out. I think this was chicken with feta salad, basically. We've got some cheese and crackers. Lovely. Let's give it a shot. I'll be honest, it doesn't look appetizing in any way, shape or form. Like poached chicken, which is always, I find poached chicken always a bit weird. This can't be roast chicken, no. This is definitely going to be dry. Chicken and feta, I find a weird combination. I don't think that they go together in any way, shape or form, but that's just my opinion. Greek salad is probably one of my least favourite salads. I just think feta tastes better in other ways, my view. Chicken, a bit of feta on top of it. Chicken's actually pretty good. It's actually, well, it's nice. It's got a little bit of flavour. It's not too dry. Yeah, it's actually alright. It's not too bad at all. Feta seems nice. Salad seems nice. Little olives. I'm not a huge fan of olives. Some I like, some I don't like. I think these I don't like. I think I prefer green olives. No, that's nothing wrong with that. It's actually kind of weird, as I would say for nearly 15-20 years, I wouldn't eat olives at all. Maybe the last year, I'm like, yeah, olives, yeah, I'll try have some olives. I'm trying more olives. It's very odd. I always found them very intense in flavour. So you have an olive, and then all you taste for the rest of the meal is olive. I still think that's a bit true, but I feel like them now. I kind of crave them sometimes. I wonder why. No idea. Anyway, this is pretty nice. I mean, yeah, it's alright. It's not going to be the best lunch we've had. I'd say out of all the meals, lunch is usually the worst. It's usually the most kind of disappointing we've had. I mean, not this meal, but lunches in general over the last 2 weeks. But yeah, it's okay. I'm having a cruisy day, just playing video games, chilling out, waiting. I packed already, tidying up a little bit. It's hard. I mean, if you've lived in a room for 2 weeks, they don't give you any cleaning materials. I'm not going to say it's messy, but you know, it's kind of like I want a vacuum cleaner and a sponge to wipe stuff down. You know, like the table here is glass table. You know, and I've been eating here now for 2 weeks, and you know, I wipe it down with the napkin at the end, but it's still kind of dusty and crap. So I feel a little bit embarrassed. Yeah, maybe later on I'll get a glass of water and try and wipe it and use a towel. I don't know. They're going to clean it anyway, but it still feels. You know, I don't think I've ever stayed two weeks in a hotel room. Oh no, actually, I've lived for a month in a hotel. I've actually done that on a couple of occasions, especially in Sweden, because I used to move around a lot, so I moved apartments quite a lot. There was a business hotel outside of the, not outside of the town, but in an outer suburb, and you could often get a good deal. It was virtually the same as renting an apartment for a month. You could rent like a studio serviced apartment in the hotel for a month, like a business apartment, you know. So I've done that a couple of times. Actually, I wouldn't mind doing that again. Some of the studios that I stayed in were bigger than the studios I was renting in town. It's one of the weird things. But you had to time it right, get the right time of year, so that the hotel had cheap prices, etc. Anyway, I'm waffling on as always. I'm going to shove this in my face. And I will see you again for final dinner in a few hours. See ya. Okay, the final dinner. Potato salad. Show me the potato salad. Hollandaise. 2 crackers and cheese. Ooh, 2 kiwis, probably. And there we go, crispy skinned barramundi with some vegetables. Very, very nice indeed. Very, very nice indeed. Let's get into it. Okie dokie. And as it's the last night, we'll have a beer. These beers were delivered on Sunday. I didn't order them. I don't know why they're here. But nice, yeah. Belt buckle. Lovely. I've got to find a new belt for it though. 2 East Extra Dry, not my favourite. God, it's good to have Australian beer though. That's been a while. You can tell it's 2 East. I literally can, you know, easy. Don't forget those tastes, do you? Okay, this looks lovely. It looks very nice. Glad it's a lighter style of meal to finish up. I don't know if you remember the pulled pork I had the other day. Yesterday maybe? I can't remember the days anymore. And I was like, oh, that's going to sit heavy. That sat very heavy in the belly. It was, yeah, that was a heavy meal. I could feel it this morning. So nice to have something like this because I don't like to get on a plane, especially even though it's only a 2-hour flight. But you know, I don't know. I don't fly very well. I seem to. It feels to me that I've spent my life flying. You know what? I left when I was 20 something. I think I was 20, maybe 21, to London. That's a long flight. I must have stayed there for a while. I think I came back. Then I travelled for a while with a friend. Did some backpacking. Then went to America for a bit. Back to Melbourne. Then back over to Europe. And then I was constantly kind of going over to like Amsterdam and Paris and Brussels and stuff to eat food and drink beer and get stoned and, you know, all of that kind of stuff. And then it was back here to Australia and then a couple of times, I think, I don't know. And then over to Sweden and then Sweden to Copenhagen a lot and then back to Australia a couple of times to visit. My sister got married and stuff, and then it just feels like I've done a lot of travelling in my life. I don't think I have. I think there's people who've done far more travelling than I've done. But yeah, it just feels like I live on planes sometimes. No, I don't. No, not live on planes. But it feels like I've been on a lot of planes. That's it. I don't travel very well. I get sinus issues. I'm definitely too big for planes. In terms of, I don't know, I'm 6 foot, but I'm also big. Got a big butt. And so I don't, it's very uncomfortable. I think I get that, you know, my ankles and my legs, my calves get quite tight, and I guess the pressure or something like that. What was that? That used to be called something, wasn't it? deep vein thrombosis. I don't think I get that, but I get, it feels like that. It feels like everything's tight and I should be concerned. I think when I got getting off this flight, I think it was 2 days before my ankles kind of felt not swollen, which is weird. I guess I'm retaining water. I guess I'm in menopause now at the moment. Okay, skin is not as crispy as it could be because obviously it's been sitting in a styrofoam container or paper container, but it does look kind of nice. I do like fish skin if it's been cooked right. Oh. Don't know if you could hear that, but there was a bit of a crunch to that. That's nice. It's a nice piece of fish. If you don't know barramundi, I think it's an Australian fish. I've never heard of it anywhere else. It's a big fish, got a big mouth. But a nice fish. Oh, I don't know, did I show you? Did I show you what it looked like? Yeah, just in case I forgot. There it is. Very nice fish. White, kind of a bit meaty. Yeah. Yeah, I like barramundi quite a lot. This is a good final meal. The final meal. This is a good last meal. Potato salad. The only time when mayonnaise... Is that mayonnaise? Maybe that's... I think it's mayonnaise. Could be sour cream or a mix. But potato salad is the only time when mayonnaise usually I can accept it. I try and use yogurt though in my potato salads if I make them at home. But yeah, otherwise I can handle mayonnaise with the potato salad. Just about. Just about. I actually don't think it needed the hollandaise with the barramundi, but it's nice. I don't think it needed because you've got the kind of moisture from the potato salad. Kind of that and the fish would work quite well. Yeah, so I don't know if you need the hollandaise, but the hollandaise is nice. We've had it before. It's a shame that it's a little bit cold, the hollandaise, basically. That is a shame, but you know, it's still nice. Bit of pepper. I don't think salt. I think the hollandaise has salt if I need it. Then again, the vegetables are never salted. They're kind of steamed vegetables. May as well. May as well. Wow. So that's the first drink in, what day is it today? Saturday? So the last beer I had was Thursday the 11th. Thursday the 11th of February was the last beer I had in Stockholm at 8 o'clock. Because the pubs close at 8 o'clock in Stockholm now because of quarantine, not quarantine, because of restrictions. So that's probably one of the longest periods of my life I haven't had a drink as well. I do like a drink. Yeah. It's nice though. Not drinking was the easy bit. I've always had a rule to not drink at home. So yeah, I guess if you're having somebody over for dinner, you have a glass of wine, you know, etc., etc. It's Christmas, you have a glass of wine. But like, since I was about 22, when I was drinking quite a lot at home at that point, when I was in London working. But from that point, after that point, I made a rule, never ever drink at home. So wherever I've lived, I don't go home and have a beer. You know, I don't keep beer in the fridge. I occasionally would keep a nice bottle of wine in the fridge in case somebody came over or something. But, you know, my drinking is always out. It's always at a pub. It's always a social thing, even if it's just me going to the pub to have a beer and read a book or have a quick meal. It has to be that sociability of being out to drink. So the drinking was not something that I was doing for drinking's sake, it was something for something else. And I mean, I know that's a little bit of kind of lying to myself and trying to, justify the amount I drink, because I do like to drink and I drink a lot when I am drinking. I do think it's one of the things that's made it easier for me at many times in my life, and especially at this time, not to drink when I don't need to. It's a very simple in my head. It's like, no, I'm not drinking. I'm at home, and I don't even feel like a drink if I'm sitting here. The last 2 weeks, I've not even thought about it. When they dropped these off on last Sunday, I was like, I didn't order them. I don't really want them, but I thought it's kind of nice to have one of the last hurdle, so to speak. And it is the last. Queensland Health have called me today, and that I had my test. Everything looks fine. They sent me the exit paperwork, which has to be signed tomorrow. The police will come and get me in the morning, walk me out the place. I'm all packed, I'm ready to go. Whoop, kind of see there's my stuff there, my bed. It looks like it's going to be warm it's probably warm in Brisbane for sure, but it might be warm in Melbourne when I arrive, maybe 28, which is it's too hot. It's far too hot. So that's annoying, because I don't really want to wear my shorts. I want to wear my jeans, because I've been wearing my shorts for like 2 weeks in here. Anyway, it'll be warm tomorrow. Me with my big bag, it'll be warm. I'll be hot and sweaty. Oh well, it is what it is. I feel incredibly unhealthy. Like I feel like I'm getting like a pimple here, and I feel like greasy. Even though I've had 2 showers today, I think it's just being in one room. Everything feels it's too small, too close. I really want to be out. Yeah, and I feel like a pimple because I haven't been eating well, even though I've eaten quite a lot of fruit. And these meals are relatively healthy. It just feels like, yeah, I need fresh air. But it's been good. It's been good. It's been a very odd experience. And I mean, it's a kind of unique experience. So, not a lot of people have been in quarantine. A lot of people have had to, lockdowns and stuff like that. But I guess those lockdowns are things like, you're either with your family. I know a lot of people had to do the lockdowns by themselves. But you kind of you can go from one room to the next. You can do certain things. Hopefully you can open a window to get some fresh air. And so this is, I guess, is going to be, lots of people who have had to do this kind of travel quarantine, this kind of quite strict. I literally haven't seen a person, when the nurse comes and does the test. I guess I've seen them, but yeah, otherwise I haven't seen anybody. I haven't heard anybody, apart from the person who knocks on the door when the food comes. And I mean, living in an airport hotel, there's not a lot of traffic. The airports aren't exactly busy places these days. So there's not a lot of traffic, not a lot of people walking out there at all. So it's kind of weird. It's definitely kind of weird. It's kind of a unique experience. I don't think I'll ever see it. Well, I hope I never have to do it in my lifetime, because that means that, there'll be another bad virus. So I hope the world doesn't have to go through something like this again. And it looks like, if you read the news, it looks like there are corners being turned. I mean, it is just the beginning of the beginning of the beginning, I think, in terms of managing the worldwide response to this virus. Unfortunately, I think there's been many instances where our own stupidities have delayed what should be and what could have been managed a lot better. Not even our own stupidities, our own cowardness. Because when we see something we don't understand, it's easier to say, I don't believe in it, or I don't think it matters, as opposed to, I'll trust somebody who does understand it. It seems these days that we're in this position where people would rather get angry because of their own ignorance instead of ask for help and say, I don't understand. Instead of saying, I don't know, people go, this is, they seize on other things that that make more sense to their head, because they don't have the knowledge or the experience to understand the more complicated reasons, which are usually the truthful reasons. I don't know what I'm waffling on about. Basically, I'm saying people are seizing conspiracy theories because they're scared and they don't understand what's actually happening.
instead of seizing upon what the experts say. And the experts, we got to remember, the experts doesn't mean they're always right, but it means they're pretty much more right more of the time than people who are non-experts. You know, that's the kind of thing about science. It's not absolute, but it's more right more of the time than a guy sitting in his room making up shit and pretending to find a conspiracy theory in everything in the world. Well, I've always known this has been a belt buckle. I've had this for many, many years. Maybe. I was in. There was a. There was a girl. I remember shopping with a girl. I feel like it was in Australia. But I feel like I wasn't living in Australia. I feel like I was just there for a visit. Was it somewhere else? I don't know. I've had this for a long time, maybe 20 years. I don't know. It's only a belt buckle. It took me at least 15 years to work out that was a bottle opener in there, and then it took me at least another 2 years to have the opportunity to use that bottle opener. At which point, when I tried to use it, it nearly dropped my pants because you kind of open it and then you try and use it, but it didn't really work. It didn't really work as a bottle opener, but it's very helpful to have. Yeah, I can't remember for the life of me where. I remember I have an image in my head of buying it and being so happy because it came with a red belt and there was nothing, no brand on the belt. I'm very anti-brands, even though this says Billabong on it. It was the simplest belt you could find. It didn't say anything. I don't like having a brand name on any of the stuff I wear. I don't want to wear something that says Nike or Polo or Alligator or whatever that thing is, or you know, all that kind of stuff. Same with the shoes, everything, you know, I own. I don't want a brand on it, so to speak. And that's not because I think brands are bad. I just don't like the way those things usually look. But yeah, so happy to find that belt. So happy. And yeah, it's a very distinct memory in my head. I just can't remember who the girl was or woman. I can't remember where it was, because if it was here, who was that? Anyway, so I'm waffling again. This is almost 15 minutes of waffle, but it's probably the last one. Tomorrow morning, you know, I might do a little, you know, leaving the hotel room and getting on the flight thing. We won't be doing quarantine food again. This is the last meal I'll have. We won't be doing it's the end of quarantine basically. And then from next week there'll be hopefully cooking videos, visiting stuff videos. You know, I'll have to I've never really produced videos on this kind of scale at the moment. And because I'll have to be recording everything myself, it's, you know, I'm not very good at that. And I guess for the kind of cooking stuff, the editing has to be a lot better than for my gaming stuff, which can be a little bit rough because it's, you know, it's just a game. So that's going to be interesting, and I guess a learning experience. You know, I'd really hope that anybody who's watching this, whether it be on my main channel or on the new channel I've got, that please give me your feedback. You know, let me know, and please also understand that it's not going to be perfect. You know, it's going to take me a while, and I'd say it's probably going to take me a month or two to get into the groove of what I kind of want to do, because it's in my head what I want it to look like, but I don't know yet whether I have the skill to make it look like that, or whether I have the ingredients to make it look like that. And by ingredients, do I mean is my computer powerful enough? I know the GoPro is that should easily do the things that I want to do, but is my computer program powerful enough? Is the program editing software I have powerful enough? All that kind of jazz, you know. Yeah, so that's going to be the fun stuff. But I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm also really looking forward, you know, obviously I'll be back and looking for a job. You know, I want this YouTube thing to be big, but I think, you know, you have to be realistic. If it's going to earn me enough to do it full time, well, I'm going to do it full time, but if it's going to earn me enough to live, then that's going to take a little while. That's going to take at least 6 months if it works. So I have to get another job in the meantime. You know, what I'd love is just one of the good pubs, you know, North Melbourne, not North Melbourne, but in the northern suburbs, you know, Northcote or Fitzroy or Collingwood, just one of the nice pubs that just, you know, does a good thing. Just serving some beer, back to my kind of roots of serving a pint, serving some good food, no cocktails, no fancy stuff, no, you know, just good pub, good food. You know, that would be an ideal job for me. Going in, doing a good 8-10 hour shift, banging it out. There you go, guys. There's your beers. Fantastic. All right. And if it was kind of in the northern suburbs, then I could walk home at the end of the night, which I love doing after you finish work. It's always refreshing to kind of, it helps you calm down, you know, after you've done a busy shift or something like that. That would be ideal. Anyway, waffle, waffle, waffle. Keep on waffling. Next time you see me, guys, I should hopefully be getting on a plane. Thank you so much if you've watched these quarantine stuff. And, you know, I put it out publicly. Thank you so much to the staff of the Pullman Brisbane Hotel and the people at Queensland Health and the Queensland Police and the AFP and the Army. I can't remember what the ADF, who've all been here, and all the quarantine officers and customs people at the airport. Everything from the start of arriving in Brisbane to now the leaving has been incredibly professional, incredibly organised as far as I could tell. I mean, you know, everybody who calls me knows about me, knows exactly what's happening, and they call often and they check often. I think it's been great, really good. And I'm almost tempted to like send a letter somewhere. I don't know where you'd send a letter to, maybe the government or something, just saying thanks. It was good. I'm very impressed. You know, and I think it's testament to all the people that have been involved in organising it. Anyway, thanks. I'll see you in the morning, I guess. Bye.